Good. Welcome to Introduction to Data Analysis. It's going to be a very long journey in the course of this learning, but it's going to be a journey that is enjoyable. It's going to be one that is fully hands-on. So I encourage you to pay attention, ask questions, and ensure that you practice everything we are doing. Practice, practice, practice. When you learn by doing, you become what you're doing. You start talking, you start doing talking the language of data, you start acting like data. When somebody makes a statement about over 20% of people are this, you ask, where did you get your data? You always will want people to verify or validate what they have. And this course is going to help you, get you there, get you ready, get you, feeling like you are, feeling and knowing that you are a data analyst. Okay, so who is a data analyst? Before we go into this, who is a data analyst or what is data analysis? Okay, so you see that person who picks up data, analyzes the data, cleans the data, analyzes it, prepares it, finds insight from it for actions to be taken by the executive or business owners. This person is a data analyst. This person analyzes data. And he or she uses a tool or technology, so many technologies out there to analyze this data. Understand that you don't need a tool to be able to analyze data. You can actually use your pen and paper to analyze data. The first visualization out there was done on pen and paper during the World War. So you can actually use pen and paper to analyze it. Do not let tools that we use or technology that we use not limit you. To not be limited by these technologies we use. Don't say you are a Power BI data analyst. No, you are a data analyst. Tools are just there to help you, to help make your work easy. Tools are there to help you perform this same work within a short period of time, make it more efficient, more effective, makes you analyze up to petabytes of data. Tools should be under your control, not tools controlling you. So in the course of this learning, we are going to be using a few tools to learn data analytics, but do not be limited by these tools. All right, so what is data analytics? Data analytics or data analysis is the process of ingesting, cleaning, okay, I'll start all over. Data analytics is the process of ingesting, inspecting, cleaning, and transforming data to extract meaningful information. It is a process of ingesting, inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to get meaningful information. So I had to use those buzzwords. Ingesting, that's what you do first. You inspect your data, you clean it, you transform it, you build a data model, and then you analyze it. You gain meaningful insight from it. I will take it again. As a data analyst, your job is in this pipeline. You ingest. Now, ingest means extract. You ingest. When you ingest, you inspect. It's important to inspect your data. So you have brought in that data. Important to check it and see what it has. Inspect. Next is cleaning. You clean. The other one is, the next is you transform. Then you model. All right, so let me explain this. So this is when you get the data, what it's called what it's known as data extraction. When you get the data from different data sources, and these data sources could be from a database, from a CRM. That's a CRM means customer relationship management platform. It could be from an API. It could be from an Excel sheet, a CSV, different sources. You bring this data to the platform you want to use to analyze it, or the software you want to use to analyze it. That's ingest. You try to look into your data to understand your data. It's important to understand your data. That's inspect. So then it's in the course of understanding your data that you start seeing that there are null values, there are duplicates, then you understand some important statistics about your data. You don't mind my spelling. Then from this point, you move on to clean your data. So I have null value. What do I do? How do I handle this null value? Do I completely remove them? Understand that when you have a data set in a table in particular, so this is like name, sales, and profit. So if I have data here, I have like 20 sales and I made 5 profits. I have Ruth here who made profit of £30, but we don't know how much sales she made. If I am not able to ascertain how much sales she made, then this will make this it's unlikely for me to use this, because how do I say you made a profit, but we don't know how much how much sales you made. When I say, okay, at this point I don't have this information, therefore I need to, you have gone, when you don't have this information, you don't quickly go and delete. You can refer back to the data, to the data collection person, the person who collected the data. You can refer back to the software engineers. Anyone who is part of data collection, you can refer back to them and ask, I think there is an important data missing here. And it's important I get this data. If you're not able to find it, then you can come and delete. There are still other ways to fill missing data, but you don't just quickly go and fill them in. Filling in missing data depends on your case scenario. All right, so I can't find this. The database admin said they don't have this. The software engineer said they don't understand why this was not captured. So what do? You delete you delete this row. So in as much as this is what you're looking for, because it's not there, it does not mean you have to delete only this. You will have to delete everything on this row. So even the profit will go, root will no longer have any record here. So you have to deal with my own record. So that's the problem here. Root will be uncomfortable with this because, I mean, this is my sales. This is the profit I made. And you're deleting it because this was not entered. There need to be a way to validate these things so that I will be part of it. That's why you cannot be in a hurry to want to delete this. So this is part of the thing, part of the issues we find during data cleaning. And that's why they tell you that over 60% of your time is spent here cleaning your data. Because when you're done cleaning this data can be used for analytics. It can be used for analytics. It can be used for machine learning. It can also be stored for reference in a data lake or data warehouse. So if you if you don't do a thorough job here, you will mess up the analytics. The insight will be wrong. The machine learning results, the machine learning model will train on a dirty data or on clean data. The inferences will be wrong. That is the result. The prediction will also be wrong. Let me explain what the importance of this. If you make decision based on dirty data, it can close down the company. Company can go down for it. If you build machine learning based on dirty data and then you make your prediction, the company can go down for it. Clients can come for you. A lot can happen. So the importance of data cleaning cannot be overemphasized. A lot happen here, and you must be very careful when you're cleaning your data. You must be extremely careful when you're cleaning your data. So most times what I do is I also do a kind of backward propagation. I go backward to check that what I did is also correct. When I am done with my analysis, I go and validate what I did to be sure that they are correct from the original data sets. I can do that manually. I don't see when it has to do with accuracy with data. In this world, you have to be accurate. You have to be accurate. So I encourage you to take your time to do this work, to do the work here. So it's after you're done here that you then transform your data. What do we call transform? So in this place, you can change the dates, the date time to dates, days, months, year, quarter, hours, seconds, minutes, depending on the level of granularity. That is the level of detail. That's what I mean. You can also change the data type at this point. You can create new columns at this point. In the place of data transformation, you do a lot, but you have to transform your data to answer your question. You don't just start transforming data. You need to transform your data to answer the business question. That's where requirement gathering comes to play. So when you have elicited requirements, you need to use that requirement to build the question. When you build the question that your dashboard wants to answer, you concentrate on that. Don't move outside it. Now, I did an interview some years ago, and I analyzed the data set given to me. The only reason I did not get that job was that I analyzed much more than I was asked to do. I felt like, the data is giving me more. So let me show them what I can do. It's not necessary. So in the long run, he told me, Kingsley, you are doing great. You are doing great. You understand the basics, you understand the fundamentals, but you need to also focus on the question. That was how I did not get that job. So I learned from it. And going forward, I just stick to the question. Please take note of that. All right. So when you're done the transforming, let's say you have different tables. This is where you come and do your data model. So you have different tables. They need to interact with one another. This is where you come and do the data modeling. And in this class, in this section, we're going to enforce the Kimball methodology. This is the standard. This is a standard for data modeling worldwide. So what does it mean? It means mostly the STAR method, building a STAR schema. And this is what you're going to learn. So during interview, this usually comes. I've got a recruiter call me the other day and was asking me about my experience. I explained wonderfully well. But he asked me, do you know anything about, this is a recruiter who doesn't understand data, but because he has been given specification of what to ask, he had to ask that question, do you know anything about Kimball framework or methodology? Yes, I told him, yes, I do. And all my data model are in all my data model, I enforce the Kimball methodology. And he said, okay, that's fine. I will then forward your name. So you need to understand the buzzwords in this place. When you talk about data modeling, you need to talk about STAR schema. You need to talk about Kimball methodology. There are other forms of schema which you're going to learn. When you're using data pipeline, I'm sure you have heard about the word data pipeline. This is what I just did, data pipeline. Then from here, after data modeling, you then build your visualization. This is what we call data pipeline. So what is it? It's about the process from when I'm just going to give you a layman definition. When you got your data to the point when all the processes you took from when you got your data to the point when you gave your final output, which is your dashboard, that is data pipeline. And they all connect to one another so that when you are done, if you then add a new data set into the table, it will show automatically on your dashboard when you refresh. That is what we call data pipeline. And in this course, you are going to learn it. All right, so we have spent so much time here. Let's move on. There are types of data, so I'll clean up this so that so there are types of data sets. And I will limit myself to just two. But mostly we talk about three types of data set, mostly, but we limit it to just two. And these are structured and unstructured data set. So the third one is called semi-structured data set. So I will limit myself to this. What are structured data sets? These are mostly the data set you use out there as a data professional. It is known that over 60% of the data you use, it's stored here. Over 60% of the data you use is stored here in a SQL database. Over 60%. So now you begin to understand why everyone is told if you have to be a data analyst, you must, not an option, you must learn SQL. So this is a structured data set. Why is it structured? Because the data is in a tabular format. It's structured. That's what we mean by structured data sets. It is in a tabular format. So be it in Excel, in a CSV file, in Excel, in a database, it is always in table. As long as it's organized in table or in CSV file and it's organized like this, it's called structured. It's organized in rows and columns. That's what we call structured data sets. What's a structured data set? All right, so before I go to structured data, go to unstructured, what are the type of data set you find? The data set you see in your SQL, the one you see in Excel, Google Sheets, and all the other tabular rows and column kind of platform, which are called structured data. Whereas the unstructured data is the one we use every now and then. You can see the icon here. I intentionally chose this icon so that you know you're doing it every now and then. Yes, all those text data, they are the unstructured data. You know the thing, why this is very popular, this is very, very important. So most times when you hear about big data, your mind should go here. Because this has the capacity to generate big data in a minute. Your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, TikTok, petabytes of data are generated every minute from this platform. Your social media platform are right now the biggest generators of data. So that is why when you hear about big data, it is talking about here. And when we hear about in machine learning in machine learning, I need to be using these buzzwords for you guys. In machine learning, when you hear about NLP, you're talking about this. In the market today, everyone is talking about ChatGPT, which is like Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It is talking about this. It's talking about this. Natural language processing, that's what NLP stands, which picks its data set from mostly here, unstructured data. So unstructured data are those text data, video data, images. These are unstructured data. They generate, a lot of data is being generated through this method. And this is the main originator. This is from the main originator of big data today. So I encourage you to read more on the unstructured data, because most of us, what we are familiar with is structured data. Of course, most people will teach you with structured data. But in this course, most of the things we're going to learn is unstructured data. However, we are also going to create the opportunity to learn how to analyze unstructured data, because truth be told, in the market, you will analyze unstructured data. Think about it. Where do we find this unstructured data? Think about customer sentiment. I did something on customer sentiment analysis some early this year, January. Think about your app. You come, you talk, you give your own statement in the review, another person give their own statement, another person give their own, and we have so many statements. Somebody comes and analyze it. You don't need to do machine learning. You can just do a little analysis and then do word cloud to see the words that are mostly used. Are they negative or are they positive? Or are they neutral? What kind of emotion do they show? You can use this unstructured data to understand your customer behavior, what they feel about you. Unstructured data are very important in the market. So I encourage you to learn more of it. And please, we are going to be using a lot of structured data, but don't allow it to derail you from asking questions on unstructured data. I will answer every question because there is so much market in this place, unstructured data. There is so much market in it. While everyone is going for structured, I would encourage you not to run away from unstructured data. It can be annoying, but there is a big market for it. Trust me. All right, so let's move on. Got to arrange your questions. Okay, so we move on. Now, the importance of data analysis in decision making. Data analysis has become a mainstream skill today. Some years ago, it's been there, but it's not like a very popular course. But because of the explosion of data in the markets, a lot of companies are beginning to try to use the data they have to stay ahead of their competitors. So it's known that that company that uses their data to make informed decisions, it's always ahead of that person who chooses to allow their assets to lie dormant. So you got so much data in your database and you're not using it. You are wasting a lot of resources. You are making decisions blindly. You are making decisions emotionally or through your intuition. But we want to go beyond that. Companies want to go beyond making decisions based on what just happened. They want to go beyond making decisions based on what they feel happens that morning or what someone is talking about out there. We want to make decisions beyond that. We want to make decisions based on what are the numbers saying? What are the numbers saying? Did they say we should go up? Did they say we should go down? What are the numbers saying? That's where data analysis, this is where you're so important. And every industry needs you as a data analyst. Data analytics is applied in every industry. Every company should need a data analyst. So it has become like a mainstream career because everyone has a data. Somehow, there's no way you are not generating data in your business. And if you're generating data, it is important that you make use of your data. And there are so many things you can do with your data. So many things you can do with your data. So this is why you can apply your data in e-commerce, retail, finance, healthcare, transport and logistics, and so many other, which we are going to discuss elaborately. Now, I want you to also focus on something. You don't have to be an expert in all this. Let us look at it. Data, it's comprised of a data professional, it's comprised of two things. So I am a data professional. The skill that is expected for me to have is called technical skills, technical skills, and domain knowledge. Domain knowledge. All right, so that's what is expected for me to know. And what are the technical skills? These are your Excel, Power BI, SQL, knowledge. These are your industry knowledge. As a matter of fact, yeah, industry knowledge. Let me point it here. E-commerce, retail, finance, healthcare, transport, and logistics. So as a data professional, you don't just go and float as that you're a data analyst. You need to acknowledge the industry you want to, you know, focus on. I would not encourage you to do everything. No. But I will encourage you to focus on one. Trust me, there is so much money in each of them. There are so much jobs in each of them. Focus on one. Of course, there are some that overlap. So retail can overlap with e-commerce. So you can focus on one. And if you're a financial person, you worked in a bank, you can be here and you can be called a financial analyst. You can be called, if you are the person that has worked in any of the big, or you're interested in buying in sales, you can be called a retail analyst. Some people can call it insight analyst. You are an e-commerce person, you are into marketing, you understand it well, you know how it works. You also know understand how e-commerce works, drop shipping. You can be called a marketing analyst. Some people call it marketing insight analyst. You can be called a healthcare analyst, data analyst, if you are into healthcare. Logistic data analyst, if you're into transport and logistics. There's so much for you to assess in this industry. So again, data professional. If you call yourself a data professional, you should have technical skill, technical know-how, and domain knowledge. This is not enough for you to get any job or break into any industry. I would not recommend this. At some point in time, most of us, if not all, have domain knowledge or area of interest. Bring it on and analyze data in that area. So look at it. You are a banker. And you're giving data to analyze, financial data to analyze. And you're also giving healthcare data to analyze. Truth be told, you will do better because in analyzing this financial data because you understand the buzzwords, profits, you understand the accounting words, you understand all those words, foreign exchange, you understand those buzzwords than this. So what it means when you move from a bank to healthcare industry to analyze their data, you will start learning the buzzwords in healthcare to be able to understand what you're analyzing. You are a healthcare person and you go into the financial industry as a data analyst, you will need to start learning the buzzwords here. So for a start and a way to enjoy what you're doing, I will seriously, that's my recommendation. Recommend that you focus on your area of strength. There are markets everywhere. There are everywhere. Focus on your area of strength. Then, if you want, you can build into relatable or, yes, related areas. Like if you're into retail, you like retail, you can gradually move into e-commerce. That's my advice. But if you want to learn all, if you want to be like me, well, the market is big. You can go for anything. But it's easier to break in going through a particular domain. The introductory section, Amara came in and gave us her own story. In 2020, I taught her this same thing I am teaching you, SQL, Excel, and Power BI. She was a financial person with Shell, but she decided to resign and join her family in the US. So she wanted to learn this because she had seen the future data is the future. So she learned it and she didn't automatically get a job in the US. It took her a few months, but where did she get a job? As a senior financial analyst with Johnson & Johnson. Now, this is an industry she already knows. So it's not like when the data come, they are not new to her. All she needed to do is to understand the skill, the technical skill, because she has so much experience in the domain area. So the technical skill was all she needed, and she grabbed it. She is working. She's enjoying her work. When I spoke with her last week, she was actually enjoying her work. So I encourage you to looking into embracing your field. It makes your work much more productive because you're open to other field. All right. So objective of this data analyst internship class is to become a data analyst using these three major technologies: Excel, SQL, and Power BI. So I want to explain why someone would ask, why are we learning Excel? I mean, Excel is just common out there. Yes, it's because Excel is common. That's why we're learning it. Excel, most interview will always have Excel, may not really have Power BI, except if it's Power BI specific interview. They tell you must use Power BI, then they might bring up Power BI. Some will even tell you will use Power BI in the job, but they will give you Excel. So if you have 10, you're likely going to have 8 of them having Excel and SQL, and there may be 2 Power BI. So I encourage you to relax your mind and learn. Excel is not going anywhere. It is here to stay, and it's getting better every day. So we want to aim at becoming a data analyst through this technology. And then going forward, you could choose to, add to your skill level by learning things like Tableau and other business intelligence tools. All right, so Excel. So Excel is one of the foremost business intelligence technology out there by Google, by Microsoft, pardon me, please. So Excel is a very powerful tool that can do a whole lot, much more than you know. In the course of learning this, we're going to learn things around the basic functions, data visualization. We're going to learn charts, formulas, pivot tables, pivot charts. We're going to learn all of them. We're going to also learn Power Query in Excel. These things are the tools. So we're going to learn all the major functions like the lookup functions. Lookup functions are the most asked interview questions. They are the most asked functions during interview, Excel interview. So we're going to learn them so that you understand how to use them. All right. The next is SQL. This is the number one toolkit in your toolkit as a data analyst, and you must have it. And in the course of doing this, you're going to learn how to create a database, going to learn how to populate your database, delete, insert, join tables, how to manage your database, how to query data from the database, how to do your analysis in SQL. We're going to learn all those. And you will start seeing some beautiful things you can do with SQL. And you're going to start seeing that this is one of the sweetest languages to learn out there, programming languages to learn out there. It is sweet and very intuitive. It's just like you're speaking English. So I encourage you to pay attention to it. Then we have the Power BI, one of the most, in fact, the most popular business intelligence tools, technology today. It is the most used. So if I count out Excel and Google Sheets, of all the mainstream business intelligence tools, Power BI is the top. And this is the reason we chose it over Tableau. Tableau is the second in the leaderboard, while Power BI has a very big market. The gap Power BI gave to Tableau, it's really huge. And then after Tableau, then you start seeing Looker Studio coming up. So that's why we're using Power BI. And at the end of this, you are learning to become a data analyst. But what you don't know is you are also learning to become a Power BI administrator, a Power BI consultant. You're learning to become a database administrator, an ETL administrator. You're learning to become a lot in the course of this. So data analyst is not just the name you're going to bear. There are different jobs you will be confident to start applying. You know what? When you start reading the job description, you tell yourself, I can do this. Yes, I can do this. And of course, if you know you can do it, I will encourage you to go for it, apply. There is nothing will happen. Apply, and when it comes, you will be able to do it. And we will be here to give you that support. So in the course of this learning, we are going to go look into the case studies. We're going to look into these case studies. You can analyze data in all this industry. So let's start with retail industry. So a retail chain uses data analysis to understand customer buying pattern by analyzing purchase history, demographics, and browsing behavior. They identify popular products and estimate and optimize inventory level. This data-driven approach helps in targeted marketing, leading to increased sales and customer satisfaction. You're going to be analyzing things like customer demography. Demography, it's like their age, their sex, things about that customer. We're going to analyze their purchase pattern, purchase history, their purchase behavior. This is, by the time you analyze it, you start understanding how to place customer. You can say, okay, this is our return customer. When you do some things we call customer segmentation, this is like a return customer, a very loyal customer, which some of you are to some brand. You are a loyal customer. Some will be called one-off customers. Some will be not just loyal. And then you'll be able to know how to encourage the ones that are loyal, reward them for being loyal, and the ones that are not, you're not sure, They are here, they are there, but they are not with you. You can follow up on them. You know how to give some targeted marketing to them. And analyzing data in this type of data will make you have a clear understanding of your customer. Then in health sector, so hospitals and healthcare providers utilize data analysis to improve patients' care. Understand the essence of this. In healthcare industry, it's about improving patients' care. So whenever you're analyzing data in that area, you are interested in people's well-being. If you're not interested in well-being of people, then you don't have business in the healthcare industry. So by analyzing patients' records, treatment outcome, and medical history, healthcare institutions can identify trends, predict potential health risk, and personalize treatment plans. That's what really happened. When you analyze those historic data, you'll be able to understand the person's health condition, and then you'll be able to render personalized health care to that person. And the person will get better or even become fully recover fully. And that is the power of data. How about the financial industry, like the banks and other financial institutions? These people leverage data analysis for things like fraud detection and risk assessments. Yes, I know some of us are people. So they analyze transaction data. They are analyzing transaction data will always help you as a financial person to identify suspicious activities. It helps you reduce fraudulent transactions, and it helps you enhance security measures. So data analysis aids in predicting market trends too for those who are trading in the market, like the stock market and the forex markets. Yes, you can't predict. The data analysis helps you predict the market. But the caveat here is, I am not advising you to go and start recommending giving advice, financial advice to people based on your data. Please, you need to be an expert in this to be able to do this. This is money we are talking about, people's money. So you can't be employed into it, but you need to be an expert to start giving such very sensitive data and advice to people. But you can actually confidently say what the numbers are saying, but be careful when you give your advice. So the next is manufacturing industry. So companies in the manufacturing industry also use data to optimize production processes. So they will use their data to understand this particular good sells faster than this. This one gets spoiled after a few days. This one, though, does not get spoiled, but the market is not so strong. They will use data to understand when to produce their goods, when the season when they are supposed to produce it, the right market to move it to, the right consumer to send it to. So they will use it to understand things like performance metrics, increase their production efficiency and the supply chain data. So they identify bottlenecks, predict equipment maintenance needs, and streamline production. This data-driven approach leads to reduced downtime and improved productivity. This is you in the manufacturing industry, and it can be in any manufacturing company. You will use your data to increase performance, equipment maintenance, and the right markets, and when to also produce some of those things. Marketing and advertising. So marketing agencies utilize data analysis to enhance campaign effectiveness. By analyzing customer behavior, response rates to different marketing channels and demographic information, marketers can tailor campaigns to target specific audience. So look at it from this perspective. You are in your house. You are talking to your partner. I think we need to replace the baby's bed. I think the one the baby has is spoiled. We need a newer one. You have said it. 2 minutes or 1 hour after, not just 30 minutes after, you start seeing it when you're on your Facebook. You start seeing it everywhere. You start seeing recommendation. This is because Google, Android phones, they listen to your conversation. These mobile phones listen to your conversation. After listening to your conversation, they automatically share it with all the apps, like Facebook. They share it with all the apps that are on your phone, which automatically recommend, having heard what you said, they start recommending that thing, that particular thing you said to you. That is marketing data. That is the power of AI and marketing. These companies listen to our conversation every now and then. Immediately you say, I think I want to go and do my master's in the UK. That's it. You will see all the universities start flooding around every platform you open. And this is marketing data. This is marketing at its peak. This is marketing. So I encourage us, if you are into this industry, take it serious. There is a lot to it. And then the e-commerce industry, in the e-commerce platform, guys, these people may not pay you so much, but there is so much job in here. One thing I have understood in e-commerce is that they make use of Lucas Studio over Power BI and Tableau. So what really happened is most of their data is in their e-commerce store, like the Shopify, and then they use things like Google Analytics, Google AdWords. They use Google Analytics to track customer behavior. They use Google AdWords for their adverts. They use Google Tag Manager to organize the things they sell and their customer and their marketing. So when they want to analyze this, because these things are called Google platform, except the Shopify store, it becomes easier for them to use another Google product to do their analysis, which is actually free. And that's why they use Lucas Studio more over Power BI and Tableau. So if you're looking at e-commerce, you need to learn Lucas Studio. But the beautiful thing is by the time you're done with this, you can pick up Lucas Studio and start analyzing. I can assure you that. By the time you're done with this Power BI, you pick up Lucas Studio because the structure is the same thing. That's why I explained to you the data pipeline. The structure is the same thing. It moves from one place, it goes to the other place. It moves from data injection, it goes up to the level of data visualization. It's just the same in all the platforms. It's just differences in technology. So I encourage you to look into it. And then the other one is logistics. So logistic companies use data for route optimization. Companies like DHL, Amazon, they use data to understand the shortest routes to where they are going to. And these are very sensitive data, very complex codes that they do. Yes, so they use data to understand their route optimization. So they also use it to understand, by analyzing traffic pattern, delivery time, and inventory level, they optimize delivery routes, reduce transportation costs, and ensure timely delivery. So you can see what it does for them. they take note of the traffic pattern over time, the delivery time over time with because of the data they have, and then and the inventory level they have. So they optimize they use all these things to optimize the delivery routes so that they will be able to deliver, to save costs in transportation and deliver the parcel at the right time. This is what we call operational efficiency. And these are things you're going to do. These are some of the data we are going to analyze. All these industries, we're going to analyze data on them, and I hope you are ready. All right. Like I told us, this course will be hands-on. So it's not about just learning as I have been talking for some time for the past hour. It's going to be more about hands-on. You are going to do as we are. You're going to do as you say. For every module we learn, you're going to do activity on them. There is always a case study in every module we learn. So it's going to be hands-on, and you are going to learn all of them. You will not